Children.
Good evening, ma'am.
We are going to start the revision part today onwards. Okay. So, first, fiber to fabric. Nishika and Neha, you also can turn on your cameras.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Okay, let's start now then. Neha, Nishika, come on the screen, please. Now we have to take a fiber to fabric. So, very quick topics revision. Okay, and after that, a worksheet practice. Okay. So, how many types of fiber do you know? Types of fibers. Neha,
Ma'am, natural and synthetic?
okay. Nishika, differentiate between these two.
Ma'am, can you repeat the question?
Difference between the natural and synthetic fibers.
I wasn't here during this chapter, ma'am.
You haven't done this chapter ever?
No, ma'am.
Oh, that's really nice. So, let me tell you.
Ma'am, natural fibers are of two types. They're obtained by plants and animals, and
Mhm.
synthetic fibers are created by using chemicals and are like man-made, mostly.
Okay. Nishika, you're from CBSE board or some other?
Yes, ma'am, but I moved like when they were doing that chapter.
Okay. Me, I mean actually, do you have not appear or like attended this chapter in school also?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So listen carefully to everything. I'll try to cover all the topics. Okay. If in case you have the doubts till now, please openly, freely tell me. Okay.
Oh,
There are two types of fibers. Okay, let me share the worksheet.
okay.
Before beginning, before fiber, we have this yarn. Okay. So what is yarn? It is a long, twisted, continuous strand of composed of interlocked fibers or filament from the handkerchief or from any cotton fabric. Have you ever pulled out a strand, a single strand out of it? Tried pulling it just for fun, na? In childhood, we used to do this. Or from a handkerchief,
Yes, ma'am.
right? So that single thread is known as the yarn, okay? Which is again derived from the like from plants or from animal wherever we are getting that fiber from. Okay, that is known as yarn. It is a long, twisted, and continuous strand composed of interlocked fiber or filament, which are used in knitting and weaving to form clothes. Okay, so see, first we have either our fiber can be natural or our fiber can be synthetic. Okay, before that, I think natural and synthetic. Now, further, naturals are divided into two. Either we obtain the fiber from plants or we obtain them from the animals. Neha, or who's there? Trilokya. Trilokya, give two examples of plant fiber.
Ma'am, cotton
Okay,
and
and
jute.
great. Neha, animal fiber, two examples.
Ma'am, wool.
Hmm.
And,
The one which is very famous in South India.
ma'am, silk.
Silk. Nishika, are you getting?
Yes, ma'am.
And straight examples for synthetic also. Nishika, now you tell me any names of fiber that you used to wear apart from these four. Do you wear rayon?
Yes, ma'am. Does the nylon count in clothes?
Yes, yes, yes. Nylon is also synthetic. Something which is man-made, which is not natural. Okay. Rayon, nylon. Uh, Also there is terracotta. Any more examples, children? Okay. Many synthetic fibers we have. Okay. So difference between these is will Dishika, you can quickly note this. The two types of fibers are natural and synthetic, and further you can, divide them in these categories. Quickly note this down. Have you noted, Nishika? Nishika, did you know? Please tell me. Nishika, are you there? Nishika, if you are speaking, we cannot hear you, okay? And we have to move ahead. Okay. So here are the fibers are the raw material used to make textile items, and they are spun or twisted together to make yarns. Now yarns we made from these fibers only. You can say fibers are the discrete multiple single strands. When we twist few strands together, uh, that is called yarn. Okay. Now, yarns are made from fibers from either natural or synthetic sources. They are interlaced, interleaved, or bonded together to make fabric. Now, this way, when we arrange like multiple sets of yarn horizontally and vertically to form a complete fabric, which is for which is actually derived from yarns only, so that is known as a fabric. Clear? Shall we move ahead? Neha and Trilokya.
Yes, ma'am.
Now comes natural fiber. Fibers that come from plants and animal are natural, you better know. Cotton and jute are the main example from plants. Wool and silk are main example from sheep. And synthetic fibers now. Fibers that are made of chemical substances, that is, substances not found directly in nature. Example, nylon, acrylic, polyester, etc. Which out of these is comfortable to wear and long lasting?
Ma'am, natural.
Natural, okay. Um, examples. Which absorbs the sweat better way?
Ma'am, synthetic fiber.
Hmm?
Synthetic fibers.
Synthetic absorbs the sweat.
Yes, ma'am.
No. Okay, you say
Ma'am, natural.
natural and that too cotton from natural. Best that absorbs sweat. This is again same we have discussed this. Nishika, we are waiting for you. Your video seems to be stuck. Let me know if you have an issue.
Only 2 minutes.
There is a detailed difference between natural and synthetic fiber. Go through it. First is we know that natural is obviously found in nature, and synthetics are man-made or simply prepared in the laboratories. Okay, so they are the good absorbents. Natural absorb sweat in a very good way, and so as able to absorb heat also, temperature, cold, sweat, etc. depending upon the condition of fiber. They do not have any pores because they are made up of chemicals. So because of pores only, we feel cool in natural fiber. We feel comfortable in that. But synthetic, sometimes it feels like suffocating in synthetic fibers because they do not have any pores for air through to pass through it. So they do not act as a good absorbents as well. No spinning process is required for filament production, but yes, like melting, wet or dry spinning process are used for their filament production because they are not natural. Okay, derived from the natural with mixing with the chemicals and all. Comfortable to use, the natural one. Synthetics will not give you the comfort at all, hardly for few hours. Their length is naturally obtained and is not possible to change the fiber structure, whereas synthetics, obviously, if man is making the synthetic fiber, their length can be controlled by man and can be easily changed to different structures. There, Nishika, you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You got stuck or something happened, right?
I think it's because of my internet, ma'am. There's some.
Mm-hmm. So this slide you have heard properly?
Yes, ma'am.
Clear? Any doubt?
No.
Okay, I will be sharing these PPTs in the group. You can go through them properly, okay?
Oh.
Hmm. Some plant fibers, the topmost, the common, and very important, where does it come from? So you just remember one thing, cotton plant always require warm climate and black soil, okay, which is easily and majorly found in the North region, Punjab, West region, Gujarat, then Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, Maharashtra, etc. So these are the main producers of cotton plant. Okay, so cotton plant bear the fruits the size of a lemon called cotton bolls, which burst open upon maturing. So there is like a spherical ball inside which there is a cotton growing. Once they become mature, once the cotton is fully grown enough, this ball itself like gets break up, burst out. Okay, and seeds wrapped in the cotton fiber become visible, and it is generally picked by hand from these balls. We just have to pick this cotton out of these burst ball by hand picking. Then we comb this cotton to separate them, because it's like all messy and stick together. So as to make them separate, we need to comb them. Like this person is using a very big brush to comb. Okay, and it is defined as a process of separating cotton fiber from cotton seeds. So this boy is actually ginning the cotton. Okay, nowadays we have machines for this purpose, which are called double roller cotton ginning machine. But earlier, people used to form them by hands. With this process of separating cotton fiber from the cotton seeds is known as ginning. Nishika, that's clear?
Yes, ma'am.
What are the different steps of making of a fabric? First, we have cotton harvesting. Once we harvest cotton, we get cotton. We go through the process of hand picking, ginning, etc. After ginning, that we need a yarn spinning factory. Like yarn means making of threads and twisting them together to make them thick. Okay. When we get the thicker pieces of threads, we need to weave them. Weave them means arranging few sets of yarns vertically, another sets of yarn horizontally, very tightly, very closely spaced, so that there like not much space is left, and it can be used as a fabric now. That's a big piece of cloth is prepared, which we call the raw fabric, and then we give them the desired shape of your like shirt, kurta, suit, sari, etc. Okay. So after weaving, we have the further finishing. Fine. About jute. Nishika, read it please.
Jute. Jute is a fiber obtained from the stem of the plant. Unlike cotton, jute is cultivated in the rainy season. Some jute producing Indian states are Bihar, Assam, and West Bengal. The plant is harvested during its flowering stage. The stem of the harvested plants are then soaked in water for 4 to 5 days. The stems are left to rot and then the fibers are picked out by hand.
Okay. Jute is the stem part of plant. Uh, Unlike cotton, it is cultivated in rainy season. What type of season or climate is required by cotton to grow? Nishika, you tell.
Ma'am, like the sunny season.
Warm climate.
Yeah.
Okay. Whereas jute requires rainy season. So some jute producing Indian states are Bihar, Assam, and West Bengal. Okay. The plant is harvested during its flowering stage when the flowers starts to appear. The stem of these harvested plants are then soaked in water for 4 to 5 days, and the stems are then left to rot. Um, and then the fibers are picked out by the hand. The stems are left to rot, and then the fibers are picked out by hand. Fine. Neha and Tilokya.
Yes, ma'am.
Tilokya, read this quickly.
Yarn. It is spun thread that is made from fibers in order to produce fabric, spinning cotton yarn. Spinning is the process of constructing yarn from fibers in which fibers from a huge heap of cotton wool are taken out and twisted, which brings them together to form a yarn. The two major devices called Takli hand spindle and chakra were used for spinning. The spinning of yarn on a bigger scale is done using spinning machines, following which these yarns are used to weave fabric. Khadi was the term used to denote clothes which were made from homespun yarn.
So yarn is a spun thread that is made from fibers in order to produce a fabric. First step is fiber, second step is yarn, third step is fabric. How do we spin cotton yarn? Spinning means just a process of constructing yarn from fiber, okay, in which fibers from a huge heap of cotton wool are taken out, means that phenomena is understood. Two major devices called takli and charkha were used for spinning process. Spinning of yarn on a bigger scale is also done using simple machine, which these yarns are used to weave fabric. Next, khadi was a term used to denote clothes which were made from home-spun yarn. Okay, done. Should I clear the annotation? I hope you need not to write anything because we have already discussed this chapter, huh? Nishika?
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm. Hmm. Not much, just the last step. This chapter is actually very not so big, it can be covered in a single day. Now, yarn to fabric. The two major ways which using which yarn is converted to fabric are weaving and knitting. Now we are looking how we can convert yarn to finally fabric, okay, to get our desired shape. So we have first process as weaving. Look carefully. We here see. Uh, can you see the two sets of yarns here? One is this, the blue part that I'm highlighting. Another I'm using with the maroon color. Can you see that this is a shuttle? So one of the thread, another thread is made to, fix here. And this way, the fabric is getting out. This is the vertical yarn, that's horizontal yarn. When in earlier classes, we used to have an activity to prepare a mat with the paper strips, right? If you have ever done in the art and craft, our teacher used to weave them, like take the strip from the upper side, then downside, then upper side, then downside, etc. This way, we learn how to make this weaving and fabric. So it is a process of entwining two sets of yarn simultaneously to make fabric, and this is done using a loom, which is hand operated as well as machine operated. So that is what weaving means. And knitting, you all know. Hmm. Knitting is, you must have seen your mothers or grandmothers, anyone, making the mostly woolen stuff is prepared by knitting process. So the process by which a single strand of yarn is used to make a piece of fabric like socks, sweater, muffler, etc. Have you seen anyone doing this? They have a two separate different needles, long needles. Okay, they move these needles in such a way that it brings out a very nice desired shape. go through this chart quickly, then we'll share the worksheet to practice. Done? Nishika, is that done?
Yes,
Say
ma'am.
quickly. You are muted if you are telling something.
Yes, ma'am, I finished.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Now you all have to share the answers in the chat quickly. Okay. Write the question number also like one, then A, B, C, or D, whatever. Means put the question number along with that option, correct option. Okay. Right for first. Which are the following fiber obtained from the fleece of animals? Quickly. Keep answering the chat. Only three locations. Be quick, everyone. Nishika and Neha, quick. Which fiber is obtained from fleece of animals?
Ma'am, what does fleece mean?
Hair.
Mom, should I post it in the chat box?
Hmm?
Should I post it in the chat box or should I?
No, the screen is shared for question. You have to post in chat box. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, Nishika. Both Neha, you are left only. Be quick. Correct. Second, pod of cotton containing fiber and seeds is called cotton. Okay. Good. All correct. Third, thin strands of yarn that we see are made up of still thinner strands called. Good, Trilokya. Very quick. Hmm. Correct, Neha. Fine. All correct. Fourth, cotton is usually picked by hand. Fibers are then separated from seeds by combing, which is called process of combing cotton. Okay, Neha. Trilokya, Nishika, quick, quick. Trilokya, process of combing cotton from seeds is called spinning.
Sorry, Mom, I accidentally clicked.
Correct your answer? Okay, fine. Hmm. Fifth, jute fiber is obtained from dash of fruit plant. Okay, great, Neha. Good, Trilokya. Fine. Six, process of making yarn from fiber is called. Dear, we are just making yarn from fiber.
Sorry, Mom, I kept the answer for the seventh.
Mhm. Mm. Neha, really is that called spinning? It is called looming. Loom. Okay. Hand loom, machine loom. Process of
I typed
arranging.
it as A.
Pardon?
I typed it as A.
Oh, sorry. Nishika, sorry. Nishika, it is looming. Okay. 7. Process of arranging two sets of yarn together to make fabric is called. Okay. Okay. Great, good. 5. Hmm. Oh, you should again say. Fine. Weaving of fabric is done on. Weaving of fabric is done on 9 children. Neha, Nishika. Okay. Weaving of fabric is done on. So that question is quite awkward. Okay, leave it. 10. Which of following is not a natural fabric? Fine. Nylon. B. Good. Hmm. 11. Which set of substances is not used for making fibers? Silk with chemicals, we can obtain synthetic fiber. Yak hair or camel hair also used for fibers, for fabrics?
Ma'am,
Yes.
husk and bones connected.
Hmm. Correct. All correct. Husk and bones. Bones have no use in making fabrics. 12. Which statement out of following is incorrect? Hmm. 12. Which statement out of following is incorrect? Use of charcoal, yes, correct. So, where in which parts jute is grown in? If not Kerala and Punjab, you have to tell this. Nishika, in 12th, except B, all are correct. So, B will be the answer here. Incorrect, okay?
Ma'am, jute is grown in Bihar, West Bengal, and Assam.
Ha, means eastern and northeastern parts of India. Okay. Jute needs what type of climate? Jute needs
Rainy.
rainy season. It is cultivated in rainy, and cotton needs warm climate. 13. Which of following material did people use in ancient time for making clothes? Okay. Okay, okay. Neha, okay, correct. Nishika, you tell. Very simple, yeah? Ancient time, were newspapers there in ancient time? Were metal foils there in ancient time? No. Then leaves of trees and animal skin and fur. D part. Paheli wants to present her friend a gift made of plant fiber. Which out of following will she select? Okay. Hmm. Neha? Hmm. Yarn is woven to get fabric using. Yarn is woven to get fabric using spinning machine. Dear, see, it is not charkha because charkha gives us yarn. Looms is also not knitting because it is question is saying yarn is woven. So mm, okay, you move to the next one. You move to 16 till then. Here it is a loom. 15 is C loom. Okay. 16, Veera is a farmer. His field is black soil and the climate is warm. Which fiber should grow? Uh, good. Neha. Correct, Nishika. Fine. 16 is correct. 17. Bujo wants to make a yarn from fiber at home. Which of following will he use to carry out the task? Yes. 17. Hmm. 17, you say C. Charkha. Or he can use handloom. He has to convert yarn from fiber. Charkha also, handloom also can be correct here, no? But charkha is fine. Okay, charkha. State whether the following statement are true or false. Okay, 18. Be quick, please. Write in one message only, okay? A, B, C, D, T, F, T, F, whatever. Yeah, share for 18 also, quickly. Nishika, 18, A, true silk is a plant fiber. Which plant gives us silk? Name the plant. Silk we get from silkworm. I'm waiting quickly. Girls, speak with. Okay, Neha, single element fiber, B stem of plant, C2, okay, and D is also given. Fine. Good, Neha. A falls animal fiber, B falls stem of plant, C2, D2, okay? Nishika, jute is obtained from stem. Okay, Nishika, you only left C or D. C is weaving process of arranging two sets of yarn together. Correct. C2, D2. Fine. Not much. 19 is match the column. 20th is this. So 19 to 28 is your homework, okay? Complete this worksheet and prepare your answers. 19 to 28 is the list, huh? Okay. Nishika, if you feel any difficulty now, you can tell me. Else, I'll be sharing this PPT in the group. Right?
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye.